The next thing she knew, Suzuha was inside the time machine, wrapped up in a blanket. She must have been crying a lot, because she hadn't even noticed that she'd come inside the time machine, or that Rentaro had left. Her dad was next to her. He was also wrapped up in a blanket, and he was looking at her.
Ochitsuita?
This is adorable. This image is so adorable.
今、何時?
She wiped away the tears as she asked.
もうすぐ日付が変わるよ。
ごめん。こんな時間まで付き合わせて。
平気平気。前にも言ったっしょ。父さんのこといくらでも頼っていいのだぜって。
The time machine's hatch was still open, and cold air was pouring in. Each time they spoke, they could see their breath turn white. The machine was still silent. They could use the life support system in the cockpit to keep out the cold, but she didn't want to waste the energy. She rubbed her cheeks with her glove-covered hands. The gloves Yuki gave her were very warm, and her hands were the one part of her that wasn't cold.
僕さ、いつか必ずオカリンも僕らと一緒に、いや違うな。僕らの先頭に立って指揮を取ってくれるって信じてるんだよね。
Suzuha was a little surprised to see Itaru speaking seriously. Normally, all Itaru ever did was screw around.
未来ガジェット研究所はオカリンがいてこそだから。今はちょっと腐ってるけどきっと立ち直る。同時に法王院京馬も蘇るわけ。不死鳥の名は伊達じゃない的な、中二病オツ的な。その時が来たら多分オカリンは自分からタイムマシンに乗るよ。鈴葉に言われなくってもね。
Suzuha realized Itaru was trying to make her feel better. Suddenly, deep in her heart, she felt a little warmer.
父さん、すごく恥ずかしいこと言ってるの自覚してる？
うわ、ですよね。オカリン本人の前じゃ口が裂けても言えないな。
私、明日までに手紙書くよ。オカリンおじさんに。直接顔見て話すとまた変な感じになっちゃうから。ごめんなさいっていうのと、もうちょっとだけもがいてみるって。だからオカリンおじさんにも考えてみてほしいって。そうは言っても実はもうあんまり時間はないんだけど。
時間ないって？ロシアが実験を開始したから？
実はタイムマシンを制御してる量子コンピューターの内蔵電池、もうすぐ切れそうなんだ。
What is a quantum computer? Quantum computer. A computer capable of using quantum mechanical overlapping to perform parallel processing. While modern-day computers switch between two signals, 0 and 1, to perform their calculations, a quantum computer is capable of calculating these two signals at the same time. This allows for exponentially faster calculations, to the point where it is expected that quantum computing will change everything about the world we know. Practical quantum computers have not yet been built. Wait. Okay, I'm just going to double check this real quick. I'm just going to double check this, because this game came out in 2015. Oh, wow! The IBM Q Experience launched in 2016 now consists of 15 publicly available quantum computers ranging from 5 to 53 qubits in size. Some 12,000 people a month use them, ranging from academic researchers to school kids. Wow. So, a year after this game came out, IBM launched the first quantum computer out to the public. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, is this accurate to, yeah, this is accurate. This was 2020. This was 2020. Holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, wait, who exactly could have them? Yeah, IBM. Okay, that's obvious. Wait, there's 8 companies? Hold on, yeah, I'm sidetracking a little bit, but what? Okay, there's IBM, who else? Who else has them? Hold on. Atom Computing, Xanadu, IBM, Cold Quanta, Zapata Computing, Azure Quantum, D-Wave, Strangeworks. Wow. Wow. That's cool. That's fucking cool. Yeah, I have to say this now. Even though I don't know too much about computers, just the whole concept of a quantum computer is really cool seeming. It's really cool seeming. And you know what? Hopefully, like, sometime in, like, the next 30 years or something, everyone can, use quantum computers in the next 30 years. Like, I know that's just, we're non-realistic thinking. Like, that might not be realistic to think that, but damn, that would be awesome that sometime in the next 30 years, everyone can use a quantum computer. That's just... It's so sci-fi of an idea, but at the same time, that is like an idea that I kind of want to, happen. Everyone being allowed to use a quantum computer. I don't know why, but just quantum computers just got me thinking for a second. I'm sorry. Anyways, let's get back to the story.
マジ？
前に話したよね。かがりを探すために1998年から何度もマシンを使ったって。それは当初の計画にはなかった行動なんだ。当然マシンを制御するコンピューターの使用回数も予定より多くなって。
それでバッテリーが消耗したっつうことか。
マシンそのものの燃料よりそっちの方が深刻なんだよ。マシンを正確に制御してジャンプさせることが難しくなる。
バッテリーだったら交換とか充電とかすればいいんじゃね？
無理だよ。
ちょっとだけその内蔵電池見させてもらっていいかな。
Suzuha nodded and pointed to a piece at the core of the machine. Itaru leaned his huge body forward to take a look. But soon he gave out a moan of confusion.
なんぞこれ。
The battery was the same size as the car's, but it was the product of 2036's technology, and Itaru lived in the year 2010. There was probably no way he could understand it. From Itaru's perspective, it might as well have been a black box of unknown technology. A quick look wouldn't tell him anything about how it was built, or how it would work. That was one reason why Suzuha had agreed to let him look at it.
2010年の技術で何とかするのは無理だと思う。言うなればそれは使い切りの電池と同じ状態ってこと。充電も交換もできない。
この時代のバッテリーか発電機に換装するのは？
Suzuha shook her head helplessly.
とっくに試したよ。でも不可能だった。ルミ姉さんに頼んで車のバッテリーを用意してもらったんだ。トラックとかに積まれてる大きなやつ。繋いでみたら1秒持たなかった。
なんでと？
ガソリンを使う発電機も試してみたけど、それもダメだった。ガソリンが何ガロン必要なのか見当もつかない。だいたいそんな量のガソリンマシンには積めないし。 ルミ姉さんね、ものすごく無理をしてくれて、最新の燃料電池まで手に入れてくれたんだよ。
But even that wasn't good enough.
未来の技術ってすげえのな。こんな小さなものがそんな大電力を賄ってるっつうわけ
Itaru was staring in amazement at the futuristic battery.
SF 映画みたく生ゴミを電気に変えられたらな。
Oh, what is he talking about? I should know this. I probably should know about this, but I have no idea what Itaru just referenced. Shit. Wait, I could probably look it up. Yeah, I could probably look it up. Hold on. Yeah, I'm looking it up. Maximum Overdrive. Really? Really? That's the movie? Maximum Overdrive? That's the movie? Huh. Okay, I'm actually kind of surprised by that. It was Maximum Overdrive. Wait, isn't that the Stephen King movie? Yes, that's the Stephen King movie. Oh my god. Yes, that is definitely the Stephen King movie. I've not seen this, but I've heard of this movie. I want to see it, though. I should probably, yeah, at some point, if I can find it, I'll probably watch it. But yes, I recognize this movie because it's the Stephen King movie. I have not seen it yet, but according to what I've seen online, it's not that amazing of a movie. At the same time, it might be really fun to watch either way, even if it might not be that great of a movie. But that's for another day. That's for another day.
で、このバッテリー、あとどれくらい持ちそうなん？
多分、あと1回か2回ジャンプしたら、それで終わり。
たったそれだけ？
しかも、こうやってマシンが停止してる間もさ、重力場や座標点の計測装置なんかはずっと動いてるから、ジャンプしなくても、いずれ電池切れになる。残ったバッテリーで正確なジャンプをするには、あと半年が限界だろうね。マキセ・クリスを救いに行けるタイミングも、そこまでってことになる。
Suzuha grabbed onto Itaru's back and took a deep breath. It was squishy, and it felt good.
バッテリーが切れて、マシンのコントロールを失ったら、どうなるんだろう。カーブラックホールの制御も効かなくなるし、イベントホライゾンの向こうから永遠に戻ってこられないとか。
What is the Kerr black hole and the event horizon? We're going to begin with event horizon. Also known as the Schwarzschild radius, my apologies if I mispronounced that, point past which no information can be transmitted. Information transmission occurs via light and electromagnetic waves, but the incredible gravity at the center of a black hole makes it impossible for even light to escape. The boundary at which this occurs is the event horizon. Anything that occurs inside event horizon cannot be observed from the outside, since no light can escape. The center of a black hole appears black. And what is a Kerr black hole? A black hole whose existence is predicted by current theories of physics. Unlike other black holes, the singularity at its center rotates. While other black holes have their singularities at a single point, the Kerr black hole singularity is a ring. The terms you always hear in science fiction, and yet they never really explain. Yes, these are definite terms I've heard before, but to be fully honest, I still partially understand what they are. But I get the basic concepts. But to be fully honest here, I don't exactly know its, practical reasonings. Like, I understand the concept of the Kerr black hole and event horizon, but I've still yet to, fully, figure out all the meanings and all the theories behind them. Like, physics is a really interesting science, in my opinion. Definitely not something that I am willing to study, though, of course, I still like hearing about it and still like learning about it, even though it's not a part of study that I like to go into. At the same time, I wouldn't mind doing work in physics. It's just that... taking a class for it is a little difficult. Okay, gaining knowledge for me is a thing based on time and motivation. I don't think I'll have either of those if I study physics. At the same time, I still want to know knowledge of physics. Like, that's just like a whole, that's like the whole, what's the word? Shoot, duality. Yeah, that's just the duality of being in physics. I'm interested and want to learn more, but I don't want to bring myself to, fully get into studying it. The duality of my opinion on physics.
縁起でもないこと言ったらダメだお。
ごめん。でも、そこってさ、どんな場所なのかな。
She's tired.
今みたいに静かな時間が永遠に続くのかな。だったらそれでもいいな。
As she clung to her father's warm back, Suzuha started to feel very sleepy. If she let her guard down for a moment, she was sure to fall asleep. She'd been trained to fight it on the battlefield, but this wasn't the battlefield, and she was exhausted from crying. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to let herself sleep once in a while. And she fell asleep on Daru. She sat down and held her knees like a child, then softly closed her eyes.
そっか。結局鈴葉はこの夏までに必ず行っちゃうんだな。たとえオカリンがどんな結論を出すとしても。
Just before she fell asleep, she thought she heard her father talking to himself. Ah, interesting. And we're back to Okabe. Oh!
これはまさにパラダイス。
Okay. What's going on here? At first, I was surprised that Okabe is talking to Amadeus, but now we see Maho within a technology store being all happy. What is happening here? I'm liking it, but what is happening? Maho's eyes were shining like a little girl's. Not many girls would look like that if you brought them to a place like this. I was the one who brought her here, but she seemed to have forgotten about me entirely. She was wandering down the narrow corridors where all the computer parts were, as if in a daze. Then she came to a stop in front of one of them. Inside the shop were lots of little plastic bins, filled with junk parts of all sizes. They'd been taken off of discarded PCs and appliances. Each of them was obviously dirty, and lots of them were covered in dust.
これ、一体何の基盤かしら。まるで美術品みたいに美しいパターンをしているわ。しかも、アルミナ基盤だなんて。
I wish I understood more about computers to be excited like Maho right now. I wish I understood more about computer parts. Wait, what is an IFX008 image sensor? You know what? I'm just gonna look this shit up. Maybe that's not a real product. Oops. I don't think that's a real product.
博物館にあってもおかしくないものがなんでこんなところに転がっているの。
I'm just happy that Maho's like getting really excited. She's been suffering enough in this game. Let her have some, happiness.
Akihabara, 聞きしに勝る場所だわ。
Watching the ecstasy on Maho's face creeps me out a little.
マホ先輩は実はこういう人なのよ。
Kurisu spoke from inside my phone. Maho had said she wanted to go out with Kurisu today. And so I ended up going on a strange date with two girls at once. This might be another test of Amadeus' capabilities, so he stayed on the project. Alright, he stayed on the project.
俺もここは何度か来たことがあるが、あんな顔してパーツをめでる人間にはこれまで一人しかお目にかかったことがない。
Daru?
わかった。橋田さんのことでしょ。
ああ。
さすがにあの人と同類扱いするのは先輩がかわいそうよ。あんたの話を聞く限りだと橋田さんってとんでもない変態だから。
そうだな。ヒアジョさんに失礼だった。
It was early afternoon on a Sunday. There was a reason I'd come with Maho to the computer parts shop. Dr. Leskinen and Maho were heading back to America in a few days. She was leaving soon, so she wanted me to show her around Akihabara like I'd promised. That's what her message had said. So we met in front of the station in the morning, and I asked her where she wanted to go. This was the result. By the way, our first stop was Yodobashi, and our second, Softmap. I'd already taken her to a lot of used PC and retro PC shops tucked away in tiny alleys.
ヒアジョさんはこういうパーツが好きなのか？
パーツというか、組み立てるものが好きなのね。子供の頃は日本製のプラスチックモデルをよく作ったわ。
Oh, plastic models. What is a plastic model? A kit made from plastic parts, put together by following a manual. Oh, it's been so fucking long since I did one of those. It's been so long. Oh, man. I've been saying that I should be doing nostalgic videos for a while. Like, I've been wanting to do nostalgic videos for a long time. I should probably just, just do them. I should probably just do them. Because I want to make nostalgic videos. I'm going to make nostalgic videos. So, yeah. I have a little bit of extra money. Maybe I could buy a plastic model and make it on camera. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Oh, that definitely sounds like a good idea.
ゲルマニウムラジオなんかも組み立てた口ですか？
Germanium radios. What is a germanium radio? A radio that uses a germanium diode, has a rectifier, and requires no power supply. This term can also refer to the kits used to build them. Since they're simple enough for anyone to build, they're a common choice for elementary school summer break projects. Ah, germanium radio. I've never made a germanium radio before. Actually, this is my first time hearing about this. Germanium radio building video in the future? Hey, I might do that. Wait, what does a germanium radio look like? Oh, I think I've seen this before. Oh, you can make these? You can make these? Oh, I'm so fucking doing that. Wait, can you buy a kit? Can you buy a kit now? Is it possible to buy a kit? Hell yeah, you can buy kits! Wait, are these buildable kits? I think these are buildable kits. I might be doing a germanium radio building video in the future. Fuck it, I might do one in the future. Holy shit.
ハンダ付けでよくやけどをしたものよ。
Solder. A mixture comprised mostly of lead and tin that is used to join metal components together. Solder. Is that how you pronounce it? Solder? I'm really relying on Google in this video. Wait. I should not rely on Google. What's that one website where they plant a tree every time you look something up? Yeah, I should probably use this. I should probably use Ecosia. I should probably use this. Alright. Soldering pronunciation. Yeah, there we go. How to pronounce soldering? Soldering! What?
Soldering.
That doesn't make sense. What? Soldering? So the L's silent.
Soldering.
Okay, so the L's silent. Interesting. I didn't know that. I actually did not know that. And hold on, how can I... I'm gonna add it to Firefox. Yes. Okay. Yes. Even though I technically work for Google since I make YouTube videos, I'm using Ecosia to look stuff up now. Every time I look something up in a video, I'll plant a tree. Anyways, let's get back to the game. I'm sorry. So soldering. That's how you pronounce it. Soldering. I didn't know that.
私もです。
みんな同じなのね。
Okabe, he never made a plastic model. Probably not everybody. Actually, I'd assumed that it was a minority of people who soldered in their homes growing up.
ずっと見ていたい。どうして私もっと早くここに来なかったのかしら。
It felt like she was never going to leave unless I dragged her out. I finally managed to succeed in getting her away from the parts shop by telling her it was time to eat. We went out to the main road. This area was close to the station, so it was especially crowded. Thanks to the crowds of people waiting to cross the street, you couldn't even walk in a straight line. Now then, where to eat? My first idea was Bay Queen plus 9 Square, but after the way she reacted last time, it was probably best to avoid it. Still, Sampo wasn't a good choice for someone new to Akihabara. Gonsen? Or maybe Kitchen Jiro? Go-Go Curry would work too. As I stood there thinking. Maho stopped moving in front of the arcade directly ahead of us. She wants to go to the arcade! Evidently, she was looking at the Crane Games on the first floor. Uh-oh.
ちょっとだけ覗いてみてもいいかしら。
She wants something from the crane. She's being enticed by the crane. I nodded. Oh no. There's an Upa crane. Oh, that's cute. There's an Upa crane. Maho walked up to the crane game and pressed her face against the glass like a little kid. Inside the glass were characters from @channel memes, all of different sizes. Maybe Maho was a secret @channeler like Kurisu? They were pretty close, so it was possible. I leaned over to Maho and whispered a magic spell into her ear.
Nurupo.
Nopal. What is Nopal? Old @channel slang. It started on the programming board as a shortening of null pointer, and as of now, has no meaning whatsoever. When someone says it, it's tradition for someone else to respond, Ga! Nopal. Ga! I'm sorry.
はい。
Oh, she's not an @channeler, is she? I just confused her.
何そのっていうのは。
なんでもない。忘れてくれ。
Uh-oh.
お
She understood what it was. Kurisu was glaring cold daggers at me from inside the smartphone, but I decided to ignore it. She's not too happy about Nopal.
ヒアジョさん、そのぬいぐるみ欲しいのか？
ええ、かわいいじゃない。ねえクリス。
先輩？
何？どうして慌てているの？
なんでもないです。
Oh man.
ちょっと意外だな。さっきパーツが好きって言ってたから、感性としては男に近いのかもって思ってた。
You can still like stuffed animals and like computer parts. Well, that case doesn't apply to me, but I'm still saying this in general. You can still like computer parts and stuffed animals. Seriously, Okabe. Try to understand people more, dude.
岡部、デリカシーないわね、あんたは。もっとうまいこと言いなさいよ。ギャップが素敵だとかなんとか。
If someone ever said that to me, I don't know if I would be embarrassed for them, or if I would try to, well, in general, if someone said the gap between my expectations and your reality is really cute, if someone actually said that to my face, I can't tell if I would try to stay silent and, not make things embarrassing for them, or I'm just going to flat out laugh at their face.
あ、すまない。
いいわよ、別に。実はね、このぬいぐるみ、クリスがベッドルームに置いていたのよ。
そうなのか？
Her eyes widened as soon as Maho said that.
もしかして通販か何かでアメリカまで取り寄せてたのか？
別にどうだっていいでしょ。
さすが隠れアットチャンネラーだな。
何よ、アットチャンネラーって聞いたことない。
ヌルポ。
か。
Even as part of Amadeus, she hadn't changed a bit.
ヒアジョさん、クリスはこれがなんていうキャラなのか教えてくれたか？
いいえ、何度か聞いてみたけど、永遠とはぐらかされたわ。
だろうな。
だからずっと気になっていたのよ。岡部さんは知っているの？
You're on the spot now, Okabe.
まあ。
岡部。
A chill ran down my spine as I heard the angry voice from the smartphone.
俺も知らないんだ。
そう。
Intimidated by the smartphone app. I'm an AI. That's more accurate to say intimidated by the AI. Sheesh. I defended your honor, Kurisu. You better be grateful.
ちょっと挑戦していいかしら。
Uh-oh. She's falling for the trap. Maho took her wallet out of her pocket and put a 100 yen coin into the machine.
このアームを左右と前後に操作してぬいぐるみをつかめばいいのね。
もしかして初めてなのか？
真帆先輩はレースゲームしかやらないですもんね。
そういうこと。
Ooh. This is a cool sprite. I'm at CG. Whoa. Maho looks so fucking badass. Maho nodded and pushed the control button, managing to move the arm directly over her target. She smiled, satisfied. Hell yeah.
簡単なものね。あとはアームが降りて勝手に掴んでくれるんでしょ？
あ、いや、普通はそうなんだが。
The arm went straight for the doll, but the angle was slightly off, and it didn't grab it right.
どういうことなの？
I should have expected something like this to happen. I should have expected something like this to happen. Poor Maho. Poor Maho. You know, honestly, I'm in this image, and I don't like it. That's what happens your first time. Maho gave it several more tries, but didn't seem to get the hang of it. She groaned and took her last 300 yen to the back of the arcade. She walked over to a game with a red and white two-tone Formula 1 car on the side of the cabinet. She slid inside, still angry. I remember that one was a CG racing game based off of real circuits.
Okabe.
ん？なんだ？
It's your turn now, Okabe.
ここは男らしさを見せるところよ。
男らしさ？
先輩の代わりにあんたがぬいぐるみを手に入れなさいっていうこと。
ああ、なるほど。
And then give it to Maho, was what she was trying to say. Manliness aside, after seeing how badly she wanted it, I did want to try and help her. I took some coins out of my pocket and checked how much money I was carrying. Okay, it's been a while, but let's try this.
とはいえ、俺もこういうゲームは得意じゃないんだが。
Even so, I was sure I could do better than Maho. May as well give it a try. He's gonna fucking get it on his first try, is he? Or they're not gonna have any money for lunch. No way, he's actually getting it, isn't he? Nope. Nope. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. Alright. Wait, what does the Cran game say? Wait, what does it say? Hold on. Ventra, space people. Oh, he picked it up, but it dropped. And so, after trying several times, whether it was luck or skill, I managed to get the stuffed animal easier than I expected.
よし!
To be fully honest, I'm relatively good at these sorts of games. Like, anytime I'm at a carnival, like, okay, I remember this slight memory. Every time me and my sibling went to a carnival, they always asked me to, you know, play some of the games sometimes, because for some reason, I was able to do most of the games at carnivals. Like, the games at carnivals, like the ones that they were not good at, they always had me do them if they liked one of the prizes. And I'm gonna be honest here, my skills might have, you know, went down over the years since I've not been to a carnival for a long time or done a, you know, crane game for a long time, but I might still have it. Oh man, I can't, you know what? Maybe next year I'll be able to show off my skills again. Let's look forward to it. 2022. If things have not gone to complete shit in a year, I might be back at carnivals, winning prizes, like it's a piece of cake. I say this now, but of course, a year from now when I actually go to one, I'm not gonna be that good at games. Most likely. I may be confident seeming now, but as soon as I actually do it in the future, I'm not gonna have a good time. I stuffed it into a bag and went back to the racing game. Maho was playing. For some reason, there was a crowd of about 10 people around it. Oh.
あの子何者だよ。俺に聞くなって。
小学生か？ありえないテクだぞ。これレコード出るんじゃね？
The crowd was whispering to one another. All of them seemed to be amazed. I made my way into the crowd and looked at the screen. The game Maho was playing was one of those where you had to clear each stage in a set time, or else it would be game over. With each race, the course got more and more difficult, and she was placing first every time with ease. As the crowd watched in awe, she finally made it to the end of the last stage, well ahead of the other racers, and she set a new record. She had a satisfied smile on her face as she looked at the flashy "Congratulations!" graphic on the ending screen. Then she noticed the crowd around her, and her body jerked.
おめでとうございます。当店のベストレコードです。
An arcade employee walked over to Maho and started to clap. Then the crowd started to clap as well.
え？あ。
Maho's face went beet red. I should probably help her. I pushed my way through the crowd and grabbed her hand to pull her up.
行こう。
I never seen her this obedient before. We made our way through the hustle and bustle and finally got out of the arcade. Maho sighed in relief.
うかつだったわ。
Why is it? You know, what happens if they stay for a little bit and the arcade gave her a prize for getting the record? What if Okame walked around the place before she could get her prize? Sorry, that's just a thought that came to my head.
何が？
つい熱くなってしまって本気を出してしまったの。
これのせいか？
I hand her the bag with my prize in it.
何？
She opened the bag and took out the stuffed animal.
これ取れたの？
運が良くてね。君にプレゼントするよ。
いいの？
俺が持ってても仕方ない。
そう？じゃあ遠慮なくいただくわ。
Maho hugged the doll tight to her chest with the innocent smile of a child. Seeing how happy she was made me happy too.
クリスが亡くなった後ね、お母さんから形見をいろいろともらったわ。けどこれはクリスがとても可愛がっていたからってお母さん自分のベッドルームに飾っていたのよ。
If you didn't know it was from an At Channel meme, it was actually pretty cute. I could see her keeping it as a memory of her daughter. What? Wait, what does it mean? Seriously, what does it mean? Is it something like, you know, a hidden reference to, another thing? Or is it a reference to, I don't know. Actually, I do not know what that character from At Channel is referencing, so... Yeah, if someone in the comments could explain that to me, please do so, because I have no idea what exactly the joke is here.
だけどクリスの実家がね、ああいうことになってぬいぐるみも燃えてしまったと思うの、きっと。 だからこれはアメリカのお母さんにプレゼントしていいかしら。
No.
もちろん喜んでもらえるならそれが一番いい。
ありがとう。
If they actually adapt that part, like if they actually put that part in the story, I'm gonna legitimately cry, man. I'm gonna legitimately cry. Like, I'm already tearing up.
さてと、次はどうする？他に見てみたいところはあるか？と言っても、アニメやゲームのショップなんかは興味ないよな。
クリス、悪いけどしばらく岡部さんと二人きりにしてくれる？
Kurisu's gonna be happy to hear that. I mean, she is happy to hear that, actually.
先輩、ついに自分の気持ちに素直になることにしたんですね。岡部、ちゃんとしなさいよ。
はぁ
Oh, he's definitely gonna fuck this up.
先輩、頑張って。それじゃ
あ。ヒア城さん？
行きたい場所もう一つあるんだけれど。
Oh. Is it Radio Kaiken?
そうか。どこだ？
It's Radio Kaiken. I'm betting you now it's Radio Kaiken. It's in some place she didn't want Kurisu knowing about?
あそこよ。わかるでしょ？
It's definitely Radio Kaiken. The smile was gone from Maho's face. She looked like she'd come to some kind of decision. And then I realized where she wanted to go.
ラジカンに連れて行って。
Yep, Radi-Kan. I called it. Radi-Kan. And she wanted me to take her there. I understood immediately. Because that was where Maksei Kurisu had died. I'd gone up to the roof several times since then. The time machine was there, and Suzuha and Daru would go up once in a while to do maintenance. Just a few days ago, Suzuha had called me out there and pointed a gun to my face. But even so, I'd never been to that storeroom on the 8th floor where it had happened. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Just remembering what happened was enough to cause a severe flashback. There was no way I could visit the site of her death.
大丈夫。ずいぶん顔色が悪いけれど。クリスのこと思い出してしまうの？
そうだろうな。
辛いならついてこなくてもいいわ。私一人で行くから。
But her face was colorless. Going there had to be hard on her, too. But even so, she was trying to come to grips with Kurisu's death. I wanted to help her remember our friend. Radi-Kan was going to be renovated. There wasn't a lot of time.
いや、一緒に行くよ。
Half of the shops had already been moved to another building to make way for the renovation. But many of the shops on the 7th floor were still open. Six months ago, on July 28th, I'd killed Kurisu on the floor just above where I was standing. With my own hands.
ここなの？
いや、事件があったのはこの上の階だと聞いている。
The clarification. I shouldn't be laughing. Actually, that's really inappropriate. I'm sorry. I should not laugh at that. I wasn't supposed to have been at the scene of Kurisu's death. I'd already asked Mayuri and Daru not to tell anyone.
上には何が？
イベント会場と、あとは倉庫とかになってる。
行ってみてもいいのかしら？
今は立ち入り禁止のはず。
But the rope that always blocked off the way to the 8th floor wasn't there today. I could hear loud voices and laughter from above. Since it was a day off, there must have been some kind of event going on upstairs.
大丈夫そうね。
Maho headed up the stairs first. I slowly dragged myself up the stairs. We passed by the event hall and into the back. It looked like there was no one around. Nothing had changed in 6 months.
ここだ。
There were no lights on, and the place seemed dark and lonely. This time, the storeroom was locked.
そう。こんな場所で。
I could see her lips trembling as she whispered. It seemed strange. This was a place where Kurisu had died, covered in blood, and yet, nearby, the rest of the world continued on, like it didn't care. And now, I'd come back, even though this was where the one I loved had died.
もどかしいわ。私は物理学者ではないから、相対性理論のことを詳細に理解しているわけではないけれど、時間と空間が同列だというのなら、なぜ空間と同じように時間も容易に移動できないのかしらね。今私たちは空間的にはクリスの死と同じ軸上にいるのよ。なのに時間軸がほんの少しずれているというだけで手出しすることすら叶わない。あなた、この前クリスに、アマデウスの方だけど、面白い質問をしたわよね。タイムマシンは作れるかどうかって。
ああ。
ぜひ研究してみてほしいわ。真っ先に私が友人テストに名乗り出るから。
I couldn't tell from the tone of her voice if she was serious or joking. She laughed, sadly. Time machines are real, you know, and there's one right above us. What would she do if I told her that? Would she blame me for giving up on saving Kurisu and say she'd go back to the past herself?
岡部さん、クリスが亡くなった時の状況について教えてくれない？私、詳しくは知らないの。
俺だってろくに知らないよ。前にそう話さなかったか？
でもアメリカにいた私よりは詳しいでしょ。クリスはどうしてこんなところに来たのかしら。クリスが死んだ時、すぐそこのイベントホールでは今日みたいにイベントが行われていたそうね。
We could hear the occasional sounds of laughter coming from the event hall.
中鉢博士、去年の夏ニュースになった。ロシアに亡命してタイムマシンに関する論文を書いたって。その論文の内容はそれはひどいものだったらしいけれど、ただそれでピンときたのよ。アメリカのクリスの家に放火した連中もロシア語を話していた。これ偶然かしら。私は 何らかの関連性があると思う。
And you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
だから中鉢博士について調べようと思ったんだけど、不思議なことに驚くほど情報がないのよ。ネットで検索しても本名すら出てこない。中鉢博士について言及しているブログやサイトを見に行ってもほとんどは閉鎖してるわ。しかもこの半年ほどで立て続けに。ねえ、一体クリスの周りで何が起きていたの？もしかして今もまだそれは続いているの？あなたは何を隠しているの？
Hook, line, and sinker. I think Okame might need to tell her something soon. Her eyes were pure and sought the truth. Kurisu used to get that exact same look in her eyes all the time. But
好奇心で足を突っ込まない方がいい。俺はもうたくさんだ。
今更だわ。私は片足を突っ込んでしまっているのよ。それに考えてしまうのよ。この前襲われたのももしかすると私のせいじゃないかって。
君のせい？狙われる理由があるのか？
私は。
And then she paused for a moment.
私はクリスの遺産を持っている。
Belongings? Some of Kurisu's belongings? What does she mean? Maho had said that after Kurisu died, she'd gone to her home in America and received some of her belongings from her mom. Was she saying now that the attack was because of that? My mind began to race. Basha. Where did Dr. Nagatabachi had sought asylum? The people who attacked Kurisu's home spoke Russian. And just a few days ago, the Russians, probably, had experimented with changing the past. Suzuha had said that World War III would be set off by the time machine. The time machine? Nagatabachi's paper? The paper he'd written about the time machine. The cause of the Third World War. A miraculous, nightmarish paper which would cause the deaths of 5.7 billion people. The time machine he discussed at his press conference was a rip-off for John Titor's. But the one in his paper was different. I never managed to read it though. But my guess was that Kurisu had shown him the original that she'd written on July 28th, and his paper was an inferior copy. Kurisu had written down instructions for making a time machine. I shuddered. I quickly booted up the Rhyme program on my smartphone. I paged through my chat logs. That hard drive and the laptop contained the data for the original version of Nakabachi's paper, or more accurately, Kurisu's paper. Good thing he saved his messages.
ダルのところに持ち込まれたクリスのノート PC とハードディスク。まさかあれの解析を依頼したのは。
I looked at Maho. She looked back at me without smiling. And she nodded.
ええ、私よ。
From Maho's perspective, there were too many things about Kurisu's death that didn't make sense. Maybe that was why she had decided to look into why Kurisu was killed. Of course, she'd assumed there were hints hidden inside her laptop and hard drive. But if my hypothesis was right, that laptop was too dangerous to be allowed to exist. I'm gonna repeat that. But if my hypothesis was right, That laptop was too dangerous to be allowed to exist. It was Pandora's box, with the power to unleash the Third World War.
どうして隠していた？
最初はあなたと橋田さんの関係を知らなかった。橋田さんに頼んだのは本当に偶然よ。そしてあなたはクリスのことについて何か隠しているように思えた。
That's why she had that reaction when she saw Daru at May Queen.
そんなあなたに正直に全て話せるわけないでしょう。信用していないというわけではないのだけど、クリスのことについては慎重になった方がいいと思って。
ああ、それについては正解だよ。アマデウスのテスターになることを反対しなかったのもそういう打算があってのことか。
打算なんて言わないで。私はただクリスの友達であるあなたのことをもっと知りたかった。
クリスの秘密を手に入れるために。
あの子のことをもっと知りたかったのよ。
She glared right back, as if challenging me.
ダルはもう解析したのか？
まだよ。だからアメリカに帰る前に最後にもう一度あなたと話をしようと思ったの。
So that's why she brought me here? I need to call Daru right now. Wait, quick save. Is this it? Wait, is this it? Wait, is this the spot where the timeline shifts? Is this where it shifts? There was a quick save right there. I think this is it. 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 I think we're here. I think we're here. Oh my god, we're here. I think we're here. Oh, yes, yes! Oh my god, I think, as soon as I pick up my phone and call Daru, we're going to Gehenna Stigma. We're going to Gehenna Stigma as soon as I pick up this call. Oh shit, man, here we go! Here we go!
はい、もしもーし。
今ラボにいるか？
いや、
じゃあどこにいる？
家で絶賛エロゲ中。どうかしたん？
Wow. Wow. You know, full on honesty, you gotta give the man some credit for being full on honest. Saying what he's doing right now. Oh my god.
お前の裏のバイトの件で話がしたい。
あ、あれか。なんかマキセ氏の情報を思い出した？
ああ。
Of course. That was a lie. He could be in danger if I didn't get that laptop back right now. I glanced over at Maho.
じゃあさ、LINE で送ってもらえるかな？
直接会って話をしよう。ラボで合流できないか？
今手が離せないから夕方でもいい？
エロゲなんて後でいくらでもできるだろう。
さあせん、家でエロゲしてるってのは嘘。実は今バイト中で手が離せないんだよね。
So he was lying! Okay, that's actually kind of surprising. He was lying about fapping. Wow. Honestly, I would have fell for it. I would have fell for it, too.
バイト？
Well, I was lying to him too, so I didn't really have room to talk.
じゃあ、本当はどこにいる？手が離せないなら、こっちから行く。とにかく今すぐに話したい。
あんまオカリンには教えたくなかったんだけどな。やばげな仕事も多いから。まあいいや。わかった。これから言うところに来てよ。
The location he gave me was still in Akihabara. It was less than 5 minutes away. Down an alley, a few turns off Main Strip, all the hustle and bustle of the crowd completely disappears. We were on the 7th floor of an old mixed-use building. We were in Akihabara, at the center of Tokyo, in the middle of the day on Sunday, and still the alleyway we'd come in seemed lonely and abandoned. There, we found the shop Daru had told us about. Cosplay Media. Oh my god. Cosplay Media at Akihabara. We're open! Come on in! Oh? Who just texted us? Bad timing. I'm out shopping with Fuka-kun. Do you want to join us, Okabe-san? Sorry, a bit busy right now. Where are you? I'll meet up later. Let's give them... Nah. Should we give them a little bit of hope? Should we give them a little bit of hope? Let's give them a little bit of hope. No, I don't think Okabe is going to meet up with them. I'm just going to give them a little bit of hope. I'll meet up later. Really? Where are you now? Akihabara. Then, should we meet you in Akihabara once we're done shopping? No, I'm heading home once I'm done. Meet me there. Don't come to Akihabara under any circumstances. Why? Because I say so. Just wait for me. But if I don't contact you by evening, give up and go home. Got it? What happened? I'm fine. Don't worry. Okay, if you say so, Okarin. We'll wait until evening. See you later, okay? Think strange. There was a cute anime-style sign on the steel door that read, Cosplay Media at Akihabara. We're open. Come on in. The store was jammed full of cosplay outfits. The wall near the entrance held the new arrivals corner and popular cosplay sections, as well as cosplay wigs, ribbons, jewelry, and props. The other wall held the used outfit section, and a shoes section stocked with socks, school shoes, heels, and boots. Even further back, I could see rows of school swimsuits and competition swimming outfits. It looked like the place sold mainly to girls, but this clearly wasn't a location where women would feel comfortable. The other tenants in the building were all shady shops with names like Drops of the Spirit, God Inc., Space Radio Receiver Sales, and Flower Petal Video Project.
君はここには来たことが？
いいえ、前に会った時は別の雑居ビルだったから、同じような怪しいお店だったけれど。
そうか。
I felt like I'd seen Daru's dark side. The shop was completely silent. There were no customers other than us. There was a thin man with long hair at the counter who looked like he worked there, but he didn't even raise his head up from his magazine when we came in. To be honest, ever since I entered, I'd worry that someone would think I was up to something illegal. I mean, not to offend Maho or anything, but Okabe walking into a shop like this with her can raise some red flags. No offense to Maho, though. No offense to Maho, but her coming with Okabe to this shop does raise red flags for Okabe. For obvious reasons. Anybody who saw me would think I was a pervert taking a middle school girl to a shady cosplay shop.
Oi, Okarin, こっち!
Daru appeared from the back of the shop. There had been no sight of him a second ago.
つうか、マホタンも一緒だったんだね。
そのマホタンというのやめてくれないかしら。
なんで？かわいいじゃん。
バカにされている気分だわ。
そんなことよりダル、お前どこから出てきた？
The man at the counter hadn't said anything, which meant they knew he was here.
とりあえずこっち。
Probably Daru is somewhat acquaintances with that man. That's why he just doesn't care what's going on. Daru headed to the back of the store. One of the rows of hanger racks holding idol cosplay outfits was pulled forward, and behind it, I could see a curtain. Past the curtain was a tiny space that led to a door marked staff only. If the hanger rack hadn't been moved, I'd have no idea this was here.
まるで忍者屋敷ね。
Whoa. Behind the door was a cramped office. Hey, at the very least, Daru has a great workstation. Wait, do I recognize any of these? No. Wow. Whoa! Okay, I did not see the full scale of the books on his desk either. Whoa! That's a lot more than I have nearby my desk. Whoa! Jeez. Wow. That is quite the working station. A little bit too messy for my standards, but at the same time, I have to say, it's a lot better than the small table I record videos on. A small table in front of my couch. Like, this is just a footrest table that I'm recording on. Compared to what I'm working with right now, this is 10 times better. Behind the door was a cramped office. Well, no. The room itself may have been pretty big, but the darkness made it feel very cramped. It was honestly hard to breathe. There were 4 desks, and the center surrounded by metal racks. The desks and floor were piled high with all manner of computers and peripherals. Peripherals? Yeah, peripherals. There were boxes and bags littered everywhere. I couldn't tell if they were trash or not. There were towers of magazines, games, plastic models, and figure boxes. And the desk was covered in garbage, just like the one at the lab. It was too dark to tell, but I was sure the figures he had on display were covered in dust. And what did he need 6 monitors for anyway? Each of them displayed an image of the store. Evidently, it was footage from a security camera. Given the size of the store and the lack of customers, even 3 cameras would have been too many.
ま、適当に座って。
座れる場所なんてないぞ。
今スペース作るよ。
Daru kicked aside the boxes on the floor to make room, then set down 2 folding chairs.
お前、この店とはどういう関係なんだ？
バイトリーダーみたいなもんかな。結構こういうアングラな店のバイト掛け持ちしてるんだよね。でさ、たまに事務所を個人的に使わせてもらってるわけ。
裏のバイトのためにか？
そういうこと。
Maybe there was a lot more to Daru than I thought.
ここにあるものは全部お前の私物か？
いや、他のバイトのみんなとの共有財産的なやつ。さすがにこんなにたくさん買えるほどお金持ってないし。
おう。
Or so he said, but who knew if that was true?
Huh?
No, I bet this is the phone call since it's from Amadeus. I bet this is the phone call. Okay, I'm gonna override this, yeah. Alright, I bet this is the phone call I need to pick up to change the timeline. Let's do it!
なんだ？
あんたまだ真帆先輩と一緒よね。
おう、一緒だが。
どうかしたの？
レスキネン教授からたった今聞いたんですが、和光市のオフィスが何者かに荒らされたって。あと真帆先輩のホテルからも連絡が来て、そっちも誰かに侵入されたみたいです。
なんですって？
すぐにレスキネン教授からも連絡があるはずですけど、少しでも早く知らせた方がいいと思って。
ありがとうクリス。ヒアジョーさんのことは俺とダルで見てるから大丈夫だ。
そうね。 それじゃ。
Maho looked down and bit her lip.
懸念していたことが現実になったな。狙いは間違いなくクリスのノート PC とハードディスクだ。
え、マジで？
場所を変えた方がいいかもしれない。
ここは安全だと思うけど。
なんとなく嫌な予感がするんだ。勘みたいなものだ。
Oh! I think I know what's about to happen here. Alright, let's see.
わかったお。
それでノート PC とハードディスクはどこに？
Daru sighed and grabbed a locked, fire-resistant case off one of the racks. He opened it. Is that where he hid it? The laptop was a deep red Japanese model with a 12-inch LCD screen. Dualbook. The hard drive was American, from a brand known for equipping its drives with a shock-resistant rubber case.
それを持って急いで出よう。
Both Maho and Daru nodded silently. As soon as we left the building, I could see a car coming down the empty alleyway. It was a big American RV. We quickly hid ourselves in the shadow of another building. My intuition was right. The RV stopped in front of the building we just left. 3 men came out. None of them were Japanese. They were all dressed in black suits, almost like MIBs. What is the MIB? Men in Black, an American urban legend. It is said that they are secret government agents who appear without warning before UFO witnesses or researchers to put a stop to their activities. It is not known whether any such secret agency actually exists. The name comes from the fact that they all dress in black and wear black sunglasses. A movie of the same name, based loosely on the urban legend, helped popularize the idea. Men in Black. I know this movie. I know Men in Black. I've seen all 3. Great movie. Oh my god. Yeah, if you've not seen Men in Black, definitely watch the first Men in Black. Definitely watch it. God, Men in Black is actually a really good movie. I'm saying this now. It's a really good movie. The first one. The other 2, they were fine, but the first one's still the best one. Whatever they weren't Akihabara tourists.
間一髪だったな。
Maho went pale when she saw the men go into the building. She seemed to be shaking a little too.
こんなのまるで映画の世界だわ。とても現実とは思えない。
でもさ、あの連中は店の情報どうやって入手したんだろう。
ダルがヘマしたんじゃないのか。
僕を誰だと思ってる？
スーパーハッカーだろ。
ハッカーな。足はつかないように注意してるっつうの。
または俺とヒヤジョーさんが尾行されてた可能性もあるが。
怖いこと言わないでよ。
和光市のオフィスやホテルだって荒らされたんだ。ヒヤジョーさんがずっとマークされていたのは間違いない。
あ、そうだわ。
Maho seemed to suddenly remember something. She took out her smartphone and made a call.
教授に連絡しないと。
今日はどこかに身を隠すと伝えておいた方がいい。教授と合流すると教授にまで危険が及ぶかもしれない。
Maho nodded. Maho point of view. Oh! Maho point of view! When Taro took Maho to Faris 99's home. It was on the top floor of a high-rise building in the center of Akihabara. If nothing else, it was sure to be more secure than the ancient building they'd just been in. Faris welcomed the 2 of them, offering them food and a place to sleep. Daru returned alone to the Future Gadget Lab to meet up with Suzuha.
このノート PC は存在するだけで災いを呼ぶだろう。
Seeing Okabe from first person's perspective is so fucking weird. Seeing him from first person perspective speaking is so fucking weird. This is so weird. I don't know how I feel about this.
手放した方がいい。
Once they both calmed down, she started to talk to him about what they were going to do with Kurisu's computer. He didn't budge an inch. Usually, he was an introvert who never pushed too hard for anything, but this time, he was extremely stubborn. Of course, so was Maho.
せめてロックを解除して中身について確かめたいわ。今のところそれもできずに手詰まりだけれど。
そんな悠長なことを言っている場合じゃない。今すぐ手放すべきだ。一番いいのはこの場で破壊することだが。
破壊するって、これはクリスの形見でもあるのよ。
君はもう少しロジカルな人間だと思ってた。
私はあなたがそんな冷たい人だとは思わなかった。
Oh, he's getting mad. Maho's words made him flinch. Something bad had happened to him. That's how it seemed to her. And it was easy to assume that it had something to do with Kurisu. So she decided to ask him what she hadn't gotten to earlier during the fuss this afternoon.
あなたはクリスの事件について何か隠しているように見えるのだけれど。
俺の知ってることなんてどうでもいいような話だ。
Maho could tell he wasn't going to share. If they hadn't been interrupted this afternoon, would he have told her?
それよりこの PC をどうするかだ。これはもう友達の形見なんていう私的なレベルのものじゃない。国家規模での争奪戦を引き起こす代物なんだ。
一体どんな陰謀論よ。
この後に及んで陰謀論だと言い張るのか。君も見ただろう、あの黒服の外国人たちを。君の通うオフィスも寝泊まりしているホテルも荒らされた。クリスの自宅だって放火された。その放火事件の後、君の研究室に FBI を名乗る謎の男たちが調査に来た。前にホテルの駐車場で襲われたことだってもしかしたら関連があるかもしれない。普通なら絶対に遭遇しないような出来事が立て続けに起きている。これは偶然じゃない。
だからって国家規模だなんて。
The whole thing just seemed like too much of a stretch for her. Trying to connect every single event was a trap that conspiracy theorists often fell into. But in fact, most things that happened didn't really mean anything. When she began to tell him that, what he said next surprised her.
事態はこの先、ジョン・タイターの予言通りに進むだろう。
ジョン・タイター？
Oh no, I think this world line, Maho's not going to believe Okabe at all. She's not going to believe him at all. She's going to think that he is just spouting nonsense. I mean, let's be honest here. Most of the time, someone would actually think Okabe is being nonsensical if you talk to someone, you know, talking like Okabe right now, who definitely sounds like a complete conspiracy theorist. Like, Okabe sounds like a complete conspiracy theorist, when in fact, what he's saying is the truth. But, since we follow Okabe's point of view, we know it's the truth, but everyone else, they don't know the truth. Oh, fuck. He's either gonna have to explain himself, or if he keeps things secret, Maho's not gonna believe him. She's not gonna believe him, I bet. Oh, I'm really excited to see where this is going. I really want to know where this goes. Maho had never heard that name before.
10年前にアメリカのネット掲示板に現れた人物だよ。2036年からタイムマシンに乗ってやってきた自称未来人だ。俺はそいつが本物だと知っている。会ったこともある。
Oh no! Oh
no! ジョン・タイターによれば2015年には第三次世界大戦が起きる。 その原因はタイムマシンだ。
バカにしているの？
至って真面目だ。中鉢博士のことを知りたがっていたな。奴はクリスの父親だ。中鉢論文にはクリスが関わっていた可能性がある。
なんですって。
Maho had read Dr. Nakabachi's paper, How to Curiosity. Last summer, he proudly announced his paper on time travel to the entire world just before fleeing to Russia. The paper itself, however, was so poorly written that it was of no value whatsoever. She couldn't believe that Kurisu might have been involved in writing it.
論文は劣化版で、もしもクリス自身が書いたオリジナルが存在するとしたら、クリスの残したノート PC とポータブルハードディスク、その中身が実際のところ何なのかは関係ない。
I think Maho might actually believe him. Even though he definitely, out of context, sounds like someone being completely crazy. At the same time, Maho might believe him because he's actually wording this quite well. Despite how crazy it sounds. The way he's wording it is not actually that bad. But this might be from, the bias that I have right now because we've been following Okabe's point of view quite a lot in this game. So that might be just the bias speaking here. But I kind of think what Okabe's saying here right now, what he's saying right here right now, makes logical sense that maybe someone would believe the crazy things that he's saying right now. Huh.
ただ、それを手に入れたがっている連中がいるんだ。
ちょっと待って。少し整理させて。
Could what Rintaro was saying be true? She took a moment to think. Normally, she wouldn't give something like this a second thought. But what had been happening around her lately just wasn't normal. She couldn't outright deny it. Besides, she was nursing a conspiracy theory of her own.
私もこの PC が狙われているかもしれないという予感はしていたのよ。ただ、あなたの話は私の予想とはあまりにもかけ離れすぎていて。
予想とは？
アマデウスの軍事転用のことじゃないかと考えていたの。
軍事転用？
クリスは精神生理学研究所にもよく出入りしていたんだけど、時々場違いな連中がそこにやってくるって言ってたの。
Psychophysiology Lab. What is Psychophysiology Lab? Oh, it's fictional. One of the labs at Victor Kandria University. While the Brain Science Institute attempts to understand the processes behind thought and memory by examining the symptoms used by the brain itself, the Psychophysiology Lab's goals are more medical in nature. They develop new medical treatments by researching the biological and physical effects caused by the mind's workings. The lab's research covers a wide range of areas, including perception, recognition, reflexes, learning, sleep, alcohol addictions, and schizophrenia. Interesting. Psychophysiology Lab.
どうも国防総省の人じゃないかって。
Department of Defense. What is the Department of Defense? The United States Department of Defense. It's also known as the Pentagon due to the shape of the building it's located in. It's America's most high-level defense agency, responsible for controlling the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Department of Defense. I also didn't know too much about that myself. I'm an idiot, I'm just an idiot.
アマデウスで人を殺せるのか？どうやって？
例えば百戦錬磨のパイロットから記憶データをコピーして無人戦闘機の制御に使うとか。あと以前話した医療への応用覚えてる？
人間の脳へ記憶データを書き戻すってやつかな？
そう。記憶データを修正した上で書き戻しが可能になれば 恐怖を感じない兵士やどんな非道な任務でも平然と遂行する部隊なんていう恐ろしいものまで作れてしまう。私はてっきりクリスがそういった実験の証拠を偶然知ってしまったんじゃないかと思っていたの。
I mean, both can still be going on. The time machine and the, experiments with Amadeus programming. Like, both of those definitely sound reasonable conspiracy theories to have. And to be fully honest here, the latter of which, not the time travel stuff, but the latter of which, that is probably going on right now when you think about it. That conspiracy theory might probably be going on right now, but this is not the kind of channel to say conspiracy theory, so I wouldn't be surprised if there are experiments like what Maho is saying right now currently going on in America. I wouldn't be surprised. And the time travel stuff, well, that might be going on, but I think the latter conspiracy theory that Maho is saying actually might have some application in real life. But that's just me saying shit right now. I should probably not continue on this subject because that's just a conspiracy theory that I have nothing to go on about. If I tried researching it, well, I might find something and disappear. So let's just get back to playing the game.
Nah, アマデウスの研究には米軍が関与していたりはしないよな。
Oh, they definitely are.
するわけないでしょ。
本当にそう言い切れるか。君はあくまで研究者であってプロジェクトの総責任者じゃない。
レスキネン教授だって軍に関与なんてさせないわ。
だよな。あれは別の世界線の話だし。
世界線？何のこと？
いや、忘れてくれ。俺の考えすぎだと思う。
He hadn't seemed like he really meant that. And that really bothered her. She wanted to hear more about John Titor, but he didn't tell her anything else. Since she couldn't crack the security on Kurisu's laptop and hard drive, it did... I'm gonna repeat this. Since she couldn't crack the security on Kurisu's laptop and hard drive, it did Maho no good to carry them. And just like Motaro said, those attackers scared her. So she decided she had no choice but to give them to him. He didn't tell her whether he was going to destroy them or not. He'd probably destroy them. Oh! Hey! Hey man, how you doing? When she arrived at their office in Wako City, Dr. Leskinen was already there. He came over and gave her a big hug.
教授、苦しい。
おう、すまない。ははは。
She'd heard that the office had been ransacked, but whatever had happened had already been cleaned up.
教授が片付けたんですか？
荒らされたと言っても、もともと私と魔法しか使っていなかったわけだし、荷物も多くなかったからね。あとは警察に任せてある。
2 days had passed since the office had been ransacked. Maho had spent both of them at Faris's home, and only today had she gotten in touch with Dr. Leskinen and gone to Wako City to get her things. They were both going back tomorrow, just as planned. That meant they were saying goodbye to this office.
犯人はまだ捕まっていないんですよね。
ああ。日本に来てから災難続きだな。
ですね。
The two of them looked around the empty office. It had been a busy 2 months.
魔法はどうだったかな？日本はもう一つの故郷でもあるわけだろう？感想は？
早く大学に戻って研究に打ち込みたいですね。この2ヶ月、資料をまとめてばかりだった気がするので。
魔法は真面目だね。
それと、 クリスが最後の時間を過ごしたこの国の空気を感じることができたのは良かったです。
魔法。
But she still hadn't figured out why Kurisu had died. Actually, she had even more questions now. It bothered her to go home with so many questions left unanswered. If only Rintaro had told her everything he knew.
そういえば
The thought suddenly occurred to Maho.
アマデウスのテスターの件はどうします？
Of course, she meant Okabe Rintaro. If both Maho and Leskinen were heading back to America, that meant that his time as a tester was over.
そうだね。
Did he not think of that? Leskinen! For some reason, the professor was taking a moment to think it over. She wondered what there was to think about.
テストはこのまま続けてもらおうと思っているんだが、どうだろう。
え？本気ですか？
実際、リンタロウと話すことで、クリスはこれまでにないような反応をして見せているだろう。今後は彼だけでなく、もっと多くのテスターを使っていきたいとも考えているところだし。
セキュリティの面で不安があるのでは？アメリカと日本だと離れすぎていて、何かトラブルが起きた時に対処できません。
大丈夫さ。私はリンタロウを信じているからね。
いや、信じるとか信じないという話ではなくてですね。
それにテストを継続すれば、魔法だって定期的にリンタロウと連絡を取れるよ。
Oh.
私は関係ないでしょう。
そうかい？
そうですよ。
では今後のリンタロウとの連絡は私が直接取ることにしよう。
別に構いませんよ。
It still seemed like he wasn't telling her something, but she was too embarrassed to question him any further. It surprised her, though, that he was so focused on Rintaro. He seemed to have taken a real liking to him ever since they had first met. Did he simply like the guy? Or was it because he was Kurisu's friend? Or was it something else? She didn't know. The next day, Maho and Dr. Leskinen returned to America via Narita Airport, just like they planned. Rintaro had come to see them off, and he was very surprised when Dr. Leskinen told him he could continue being a tester. And then, half a year passed. Oh shit. Pandora's box. Gehenna Stigma! This Stigma behind the hidden mirror. Hell. Yeah. Oh. We're still on Maho's point of view. Oh, hell yeah. We're finally on Gehenna Stigma. Oh, I'm so excited. You know what? I'm actually fucking excited because this is the fucking Leskinen ending. Oh, man, I'm actually really happy because we're seeing what the Leskinen ending is. And I'm gonna be honest here, I have no idea what happens in the Leskinen ending. I have no idea what happens. I legitimately do not know what happens in this ending, so I'm really excited to see where it goes. It feels like there's gonna be a lot to do with, Leskinen's work with the US military and Amadeus in this ending. I bet. There's gonna be a lot to do with the US military's research on Amadeus and, the brain programs within, altering somebody's, brain using technology, as well with their research into the time machine that they want to build before Russia. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be definitely interesting because we're gonna learn a lot more about the truth behind the ulterior motives of the Amadeus program. And we'll definitely get to see more of the mind of Leskinen. Oh, I'm really excited to see the mind of Alexis Leskinen. I'm gonna be honest here, I am actually really excited because, you know, after about over 6 years of, making Leskin memes, it's probably about time that I learn the main story behind the man himself. So next time, let's begin our path down into the mind of Leskinen.
Okay.